Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Unity of Wilmington's hybrid service. We are here in person, and you are out there in Cyberland. Let our celebration singers introduce us to this day. Thank you.
Let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. Let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. When you wake up in the morning, it's a brand new day. Just forget about your worries. You know it's time to hear you say, let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. Let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. Let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. Let the Holy Spirit shine His ever-loving light on you. God is bigger than my problems. God is bigger than my fears. God is bigger than my worries. God is bigger than my tears. So let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. Let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. Let the Holy Spirit shine a light on you. Let the Holy Spirit shine His ever-loving light on you.
We glow in the dark, we glow in the day, because the Holy Spirit is over us all the time. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Lainey Morger. I'm your platform host for the day, and I'd like to welcome you again to Unity of Wilmington. Anybody here for the first time? We'd like to welcome you especially. No? Any viewers out there, we'd likewise like to welcome you especially. Anybody for the second or third time? Wow. We are all here. Isn't this great? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Helping us get this service underway today, we have in the sound booth Christopher Dean and Jose. At the piano, we have Katie Deese. I lost where I was going with this. Chris Rickert will be our soloist. Dr. Ellen will be our speaker. And Teresa Rodriguez will be doing our daily word. So now please stand and, you don't have to stand. Please join me in our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence. And I am a beloved expression of God. I am here for a holy purpose. I am in the right place at the right time right now. And now, Teresa.
Good morning. This is the Daily Word. You can buy this in Unity Village, and there may be one more copy left out front. And today, I'm sorry. Today is renew. And the affirmation is, I am restored by the Spirit of God within me. Can we all say that? I am restored by the Spirit of God within me. Renewal is part of the rhythm of daily life. Eating and drinking to nourish and replenish my body, resting to quiet my mind, and sleeping after a day of activity are all ways to renew myself. But sometimes those efforts aren't quite enough to sustain me. At times when I feel drained at depth, I may need spiritual renewal. God, the one presence and power, is with me always. but it is up to me to keep my awareness of God strong. When I awaken, I say a prayer of blessing for what the day will bring. Throughout the day, I feel God's presence all around me. When I prepare for sleep, I say a prayer of gratitude for all the day has brought. In God, I am renewed moment by moment, day by day. In the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 18, we look not at what can be seen, but at what cannot be seen. For what can be seen is temporary, but what cannot be seen is eternal. Thank you.
And now, Chris Recker will be entertaining us with a lovely song.
Let's pretend we're riding on a kite. Let's imagine we're flying through the air. We'll ascend until we're out of sight. Light as paper, we'll soar. Let's be wild up high above the sand. Feel the wind, the world at our command. Let's enjoy the view and never land, floating far from the shore. Some things are meant to be, the clouds moving fast and free, the sun on a silver sea, a sky that's bright and blue, and some things will never end, the thrill of our magic ride, the love that I feel inside for you. We'll climb high beyond the break of day, sleep on stardust, and dine on bits of moon. You and I will find the Milky Way. We'll be mad and explore. We'll recline aloft upon the breeze, dart above, sail onward with ease, pass the days, doing only what we please. That's what living is for. Some things are meant to be, the tide turning endlessly, the way it takes hold of me. No matter what I do, and some things will never die, the promise of who you are, the memories when I am far from you. All my life I've lived for loving you. Let me go now.
Wow, that was beautiful, Chris. Let's give Chris another round of appreciation. Oh, so welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And welcome to everybody online as well. So it is still Freedom Month, and before we go into our lesson, we are going to free fly in our meditation. So I invite everybody just to get comfortable in your seat. If you're watching online as well, just take a nice deep breath, close your eyes. And just like in the song that Chris just sang, we are going to fly. We're going to touch the moon and the stars, as this is what is meant to be free. See yourself free to be wherever you choose. Free to be that bird that is just flying high, soaring above the clouds, soaring across the ocean, soaring through the mountains and the valleys, just completely free to go wherever you choose. And feeling that freedom within your soul. Breathing. Connecting to spirit within that is always guiding you, that is always the wind underneath your wings. You are never alone. You can fly whenever you choose. And you can go wherever you want. And so see yourself wherever that place is. Maybe it's in your own backyard. Or perhaps it's someplace far, far away that you've always wanted to visit. Maybe it's going back in time and being young and free as a child again. Breathing in the joy that you feel and the freedom that you feel to just be free. So wherever you are, hold that feeling within you, that free, loving feeling. So wherever you are, you can have that feeling. And as we bring our focus and awareness and attention back to right here and right now in this room, you are still free to be, to soar, to have the life that you choose. And so let's take another nice, long, slow, deep breath in. Wiggling our fingers, our toes, bringing our full attention back to our seat and to this present moment. And when you're ready, just go ahead and open up your eyes. And if it won't hit anybody, you can just bring your arms up and just fly back down. Yeah. And if you hit someone, that's okay, as long as you don't hit them too hard. So happy Sunday, everyone. At first I thought it was the last Sunday in the month, and then I remembered that this is a 5-Sunday month. So we have one more Sunday in our month. Dr. Herbert's going to be bringing in the last Sunday of the month. What is that called in baseball? What is it? The cleanup. There we go. He's our cleanup batter for the month of July. So it is still Freedom Month, as I said. And yeah, there we go. I was going to say, there's my little picture there. Whoop, make sure I don't spill my water. So I love I love looking for pictures to support my talk. And, you know, my talk title is Unchain Your Heart. And of course, you know, at first I was like, do I want to have a heart with chains around it? And then I saw this picture and I thought, wow, this is perfect because it is officially dog days of summer. It is officially the dog days of summer, and it goes through mid-August. And my women's group and I, we experienced the dog days of summer when we went to Airlie Gardens to go to a concert on Friday night because it was so hot. It was so hot. I have never experienced heat and humidity like that, and I've now been here almost 2 years, but it was just unbearable. It was really unbearable. Talk about the dog days of summer. But, you know, we were free to do whatever we wanted to do, and we were free to have some fun. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about our experience through the talk. But, you know, how many of you have a pet? Anyone? Probably most of us have a pet. Right? Do they love you unconditionally? They do, don't they? Whether it's a dog or a cat or a gerbil or a rabbit. I don't know about snakes, but maybe they do. I don't know. I never wanted a snake, but I can imagine, right? Any pet. But the thing is, they have unconditional love for us, but we don't always have unconditional love for ourselves. We don't. Our love for ourselves is conditional. Let's be honest with ourselves. How many of you, you know, only really love yourself if you accomplish that thing that you said you were going to? Or you reach the ideal weight that you wanted to? Or, you know, you have X amount of dollars in the bank? We you know, are conditioned to love ourselves based on certain things. So we chain our hearts up with this idea, this belief that we have to achieve certain things to love ourselves. And yet our dog could care less how much we weigh or how much money is in our account. My cats don't care. They love me unconditionally. They absolutely love me unconditionally. And you have to remember, too, one of the other reasons I chose this image is that dog is God spelled backwards. And God, just like your dog, loves you unconditionally. So our affirmation for today is, I am a free soul, and I am free to love all of me. So let's get started with that right now. I am a free soul, and I am free to love all of me. Yes, woof, woof. You could say that too. So, we are bound merely by chains of unbelief. Bondage is man-made. It is man-made. If I say I am poor, I am weak, I am sad, I'm unhappy, then we are putting ourselves in a self-made prison. And if I say, well, I can't have that, that's too expensive, or I'm not good enough for that, once again, I'm putting myself in my own prison, believing that I can't have something that I know that I want. You know, and as much as we put ourselves in those chains of unbelief, we also chain ourselves to the opposite. We become attached to things. And then we chain ourselves to those because we're so afraid of losing them. I talked last week a little bit about like the closet full of stuff that we have. And, you know, we may be in relationships that we don't want to lose. Not that that's a bad thing. I don't want my kids to move out of my house. I haven't chained them to their rooms yet. Right? But how many people chain up their dogs? Right? I was never a chainer. Right? I don't think, I know I'm speaking to the choir, you guys don't chain up your dogs, but the truth is, we do chain them in our yards because we're afraid of them running away. We chain things up that we don't want to lose. We put chain link fences around our yard, not that our yards are going to run away, but we don't want to lose anything that's in the yard. We don't want people to come and take our stuff. Don't take my stuff.
That's why we chain things up. One of my worst, or the expression I like the least is the ball and chain. Right? Oh, she's the old ball and chain, or he's the old ball and chain. And, it was kind of said humorously, but it's that belief that I'm chained to this thing, this person, this belief, this ideology that doesn't serve me anymore. And, we drop the anchor on our lives many times, so afraid to soar. We're too afraid to fly because we have this belief that says, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too whatever it is. You can fill in your own blank for your unbelief. So these beliefs that we have adopted, we know that many of them come from our childhood. They come from school, they come from parents, they come from our old religions that we no longer, follow anymore. And even some of them, they dictate how we're going to dress, they dictate how we're going to behave, they dictate how we're going to act, they dictate what we can even enjoy. And then we don't enjoy our lives anymore, right? We don't give ourselves permission to have that treat, right? And actually, there's a few great treats today for holidays. It's actually Vanilla Ice Cream Day. Last week was just ice cream day. Today is a vanilla ice cream day. And as you know, that's one of my absolute favorite flavors. But we deny ourselves those sweet treats. We deny ourselves the pleasures of even being human sometimes. We deny ourselves vacations. We deny ourselves taking breaks. We deny ourselves these things because of old ideologies. And thinking about how we chain ourselves, the way they used to train elephants, hopefully they don't do this anymore, but they used to train elephants for the zoo and for circuses by chaining them. And they would only have like a 3-foot leash on them. And they would walk around in a circle, but they couldn't go more than 3 feet. And after a period of time, the elephant, they would take the chain off, but the elephant would never go past that space. They were just chained to this belief that they couldn't go any more than that distance. And I want you to just think for a moment, in your own life, what have you chained yourself to that you're not going past that perimeter of? For many years, I stayed in the same apartment, as you all know, for 17 years. I thought I was going to die in that apartment. I was convinced at one point, this is it. I was told no at every intersection about being able to buy a home and looking for where I wanted to be. I just couldn't figure it out. And I thought, well, this is it. I guess I may as well just chain myself to this apartment because as far as I've gotten. Well, obviously, I did make it out because I'm here in Wilmington. And when you start also looking at who else has been chained to beliefs that it's impossible to do this? Look to the sports world. There was a time when nobody believed you could run a 7-minute mile, a 6-minute mile. Who knows what the thing is today? Is it 3? Yeah, I was thinking 3-minute mile. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Same thing with the skaters. They're doing quads like nothing today. Back in my day, when I used to watch it, if you could do a double, that was incredible. Right? They didn't believe the human body was capable of doing these kinds of feats. And as I was at the gym yesterday, I was watching the kids on their skateboards, or whatever they're called, doing what are those events called? They're going up the sides and down, and they're flipping in between. And then the bike's going back and forth and upside down and all around. I'm like, oh my goodness. We were just taught just to stay on your bike, right? Not to flip around on your bicycle. So we've got to, get past this idea. The law of life can work through you or for you only as it works through your thought patterns. It works for you perfectly, but it works through your own thought patterns. So Think about it. Is your pattern one of prosperity and abundance, or is it one of lack? Well, how do you know? Look at your bank account, right? When a bill comes in, what happens inside? Is it, how am I going to pay that? Versus, I'm prosperous. Look at this bill that just came in. Right? My husband taught me that thinking that I'm still practicing every single day. Right? So is your pattern one of health and well-being, or is it one of illness and sickness? Once again, how do you know? Right? How do you feel? And is your pattern one of joy and peace, or anger and strife? Look at your relationships. Also look at your relationship to what's going on in the world. When you watch the news, what are you thinking about? Are we thinking, oh, right, this is the world we live in? Or are we thinking, we're only seeing this much of the real truth? Right? This is a beautiful, loving, peaceful world that we live in. We have to believe that. But you cannot change a negative pattern by maintaining a negative attitude. And once again, I'm learning this myself. Every time we complain about something, every time we blame someone else, and any time we shame, we are holding a negative pattern within us. So we have to raise our consciousness. If I want to have $1 million business, or I want to feel like $1 million, I have to believe that I already possess that. I have to have $1 million attitude that says, I am $1 million businesswoman, or I am $1 million no matter what might be going on. No matter what might be going on. So we have to raise our consciousness through curiosity. You have to raise your consciousness by asking a different question. When you recognize you're in a negative pattern, instead of staying stuck in that, remember, chaining yourself to that belief, like, oh, that's just the way it is. Ask yourself, well, how might it be different? How could it be different? Am I willing to think something differently to start to move the needle? You know, sometimes we can't jump from negative to positive, but we can kind of inch our way a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And that's what we need to learn how to do. So we want to break free. Break yourself free from hereditary patterns. Prove once and for all that the power within you is greater than the power in the world. Remember, we have the power. We are the power. The divine power of God is within us. We are divine expressions of God, so we have the power within us. We have to believe that. We have to break free from whatever cultural code we grew up in, whatever our family told us was appropriate or inappropriate or good or bad. We have to break through those hereditary patterns, those things that run in the family. What runs in our families? Go ahead, shout something that runs in your family. Health. I love it. Health runs in Herbert's family. Okay? And the truth is, it runs in all of our families. But many families believe that, oh, cancer runs in the family. I went for a mammogram on Friday. I think it was Friday. And that's one of the first questions they asked me. Does breast cancer run in your family? I'm like, no. It doesn't. Actually, nobody in my family had cancer, but even if they did, I don't want to affirm that belief, right? Does cancer run in your family? Mental illness, right? Alcoholism. All these things that keep us chained down here, if we keep repeating the pattern over and over and over and over, we're just going to keep bringing it forward and bringing it forward and bringing it forward. So, you know, in honesty, one of my hereditary patterns has been scarcity and lack, and I work really hard to overcome that. But, you know, my dad was so afraid of taking any risks because he was raised in poverty, in the tenements in the Bronx. And, security was the most important thing to his family and his generation. And so I adopted that. But that doesn't mean I need to live that. Just because that was part of my hereditary doesn't mean that I have to pass that on to the next generation, right? Because what else does run in families? Health, joy, love, success, faith. These run in families. They run in this family, the unity family. Do they not? They do. They absolutely do. Myrtle Fillmore, founder of Unity, co-founder, right, with her husband. I am a child of God, and therefore I don't inherit sickness. She had tuberculosis. She was told she literally had 2 months to live. Her, I think, mother, aunt, I don't remember exactly who in her family had already passed from tuberculosis. So it was this, oh, well, this is, my inheritance. But she said, no, I'm a child of God. God is perfect, whole, and complete. I have the power within me to heal myself. I am not going to die of tuberculosis, and she didn't. And when we have that strong faith, when we believe that we can do it, we can do it. Our group Friday night had a strong faith and belief that if it would just rain, we would cool off. We were schwitzing, as we would say in New York. It was so hot. And we're looking at the clouds, and it definitely looked like it wanted to rain, and it felt like it was going to rain. And we're like, you know what? We welcome a storm cloud to just rain and cool us off. And lo and behold, we had the power because it poured. It absolutely poured. And we were drenched through and through. We were a bunch of drowned rats, and we had so much fun laughing about it because we recognized we are powerful. We did that. We asked for it, we affirmed it, and it happened for us. And we can do that with our health too. I mean, interestingly enough, you can't see it now, but I cut my finger there because I was opening up a can, and I was trying to lift the can up. So it was in this container that keeps things cold, but the lip, is really low, so you have to pull the can up a little bit so that the lip is higher. And I put my finger in to pull it up, and of course I cut it on the can. And it was bleeding and bleeding. I think I drenched 3 paper towels worth of blood. But you can't tell. You cannot tell. That's the power of the body. The body heals itself when we believe. I didn't say, oh my God, I'm going to die. I knew that my cut was going to heal itself. I just had to be patient. I had to have faith. And I had to know that I have the power within to heal myself. And so that's what happened. But you have to believe it, right? The human family, and I am a firm believer in this, we have the power to change the world. We have the power to break free from this hereditary pattern of war that is across the globe, this hereditary pattern of discrimination, this hereditary power of racism and homophobia, and destroying the planet that we live on. We do have the power. We just have to break free. And we have to believe. Your faith can penetrate clouds of unbelief and reveal the truth. But just like those clouds, once they dumped all that rain on us, revealed the sun. And when you're sitting in a dark room and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. How am I going to unchain myself from this challenge? Just flip the switch. The power's already there, but if you don't plug the light in, the room is not going to light up. You have to believe. Faith is unseen. Faith is unseen. But we can see the results when we have faith. When we have faith. As a matter of fact, in this thing called You, Ernest Holmes says about this. He said, learn to exchange fears, doubts, and uncertainties for faith. Faith can make you whole. Faith can convert fear into certainty, poverty into riches, disease into health. Faith can lift you from a valley of despair into a mountain of hope and certainty. So no matter what you might be chained to, right, having that faith is what's going to bring us out of that. All right. Uh-oh. Chris, help. I did something. Thank you. See, I had faith. I love this quote. This is from Marilyn Monroe. She said, sometimes good things fall apart, so better things can fall together. So, the valley of despair, heartache, it's part of the human condition. We all have experienced it. But that doesn't mean that we have to keep our hearts chained up because of heartache. We can let go of the past. I mean, if we're always in the right place at the right time, then we have to trust and have faith that even if everything is falling apart, that something better is falling together for us, for the highest and the best. And, whatever that is, whether it's, the job that you lost, whether it's the relationship that fell apart, even here, a year ago, things fell apart, only for things to now fall together even better, even stronger. I think about my life, and I know everyone can relate to this, right? I've been married once before. That divorce was really, really difficult. Right? It felt like my life had fallen apart. But I wouldn't have gone to New York and met my husband, my current husband, and I'm blissfully happy. Yes, I am. Had I not been fired from a good job, making a lot of money, I would have never just decided, all right, it's time to start my own business. 12 years later, right? Heart-centered programs and doing trainings and coaching and consulting. That would have never happened. So something had to fall apart for something better to fall together. And like I said, everything in life is transitionary. Would somebody correct my English there, but nothing's permanent. Things are always falling apart for something to fall together. And life is all about those kinds of changes. Here we go, over here. Let's see if it works this time. There we go. So go out, do something. It isn't your room that it's your prison. It's yourself. It's yourself. See everybody nodding like, oh. All right, that's a truth that's like, whoa. So if things have fallen apart, if things have fallen away, why don't we just fall forward? Fall forward through the next door. Right? Break the chains. Lift the veil. Allow what's new to come in. Right? Be willing to let something new come together. Love yourself. Be yourself. And when you go out, you can have vanilla ice cream today, or how many of you know that it's also peanut butter chocolate day? Anyone? It is peanut butter chocolate day. How many of you like peanut butter cups? Who would like a peanut butter cup? Dark chocolate. Whoa. Right, see, thank God that I have a different career than being a baseball player. There we go. Feel free to come up at the end and have some more. lesson today is Ellen needs to practice throwing. Lesson number 1. All right. Bondage is man-made, right? If you are right now chained to something, you have the key. You have the key. You just have to reconnect with who you are, which is, a divine, spiritual, powerful being. Fillmore said, there we go. Let the God within you express itself through the world without. So that God within you is expressing itself. So break those chains and express yourself as the free soul that you are. So let's finish up with our affirmation. I am a free soul, and I am free to love all of me. Woof, woof. Thank you, everyone. All right, so it is time for our affirmative giving. So let's do our mudra. Everyone. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. So it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
And let's do our blessing over our gifts. And we know that these blessings, this tithe, these donations, they support our center. They support work out in the world. Anne, you come up. And we are so grateful. There you go. And so let's just bless this basket, what's in the basket, what you donate online, what comes to us as manna from heaven. This is the flow of God's love. And this is the power that we all have within us to create the lives that we choose. And we are choosing to support Unity of Wilmington, and we say thank you. And I release my word knowing it's done, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
If you're inclined to sing along, feel free. Well, I heard some people talking just the other day, and they said you were gonna put me on a shelf. Let me say I got some news for you, and you'll soon find out it's true. And then you'll have to eat your lunch all by yourself, 'cause I'm already gone, and I'm feeling strong. I will sing this victory song. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. stop and wonder why, but I guess you felt like you had to set things right. Well, just remember this, my girl, when you look up in the sky, you can see the stars and still not see the light. That's right. And I'm already gone, and I'm feeling strong. I will sing this victory song. Woo-hoo, 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 woo-hoo. Well, I know it wasn't you who held me down, and heaven knows it wasn't you who set me free. So oftentimes it happens that we live our lives in chains, and we never even know we have the key. But me, I'm already gone, and I'm feeling strong. I will sing this victory song, 'cause I'm already gone. Yes, I'm already gone, and I'm feeling strong. I will sing this victory song, 'cause I'm already gone.
Yes, we are already gone. And we're already gone right back here. Isn't this terrific? Wow. I guess it's hard to be free. We like being chained. As much as that only gives us 3 feet or 4 feet or 5 miles or whatever, it's secure. We know where to go back to. Our comfort zone will be fed, we'll be clothed, we'll be whatever, but we'll be chained. And we can't exist with other people who are chained. We all need to be free. Wow. And we're all heroes enough to be able to do that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to our source for creating us in that way. Wow. We're already gone. Teresa Rodriguez will be our prayer partner for today. She will be able to join you over by our prayer box to renew your connections with your source. And also, you can add your requests into the box itself, and they will be prayed for here for a month, and then we will send them on to Silent Unity for another month. And I strongly recommend you put Silent Unity on your speed dial on your phone. It's very good for both things that are haunting you and things that you need to celebrate. Because winning the laundry is as terrifying as not losing it. Anyway, the Contente meditation will be after today's service. Stay for that. That'll start at about 12:30. It's a prayer, meditation, music, chanting service. It's quite delightful. If you haven't attended one before, please do so. Thank you. Our celebration of life for George Dolan, who was a former board member, will be happening here next Saturday. So if you know George, please come by and pay respects to his family. That will be next Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Our fall gala, which will be happening November the 4th, I believe, will be the team putting that together. Will be meeting here on August the 6th, which is in about 2 weeks, right after the service, to start putting together the details of that. So to be a planner, to be a doer, as well as a participant, join us for that. As always, we celebrate the teams that keep us going and moving. And this week we celebrate all our volunteers, all of us who put in our 2 cents, 2 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, to keep this moving smoothly and forward. This week we'd also like to appreciate our tellers, the people who count the money every week, to even also keep us moving and going forward. So to all of us who participate in any of these activities, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, please join me as we say our closing prayer. Please stand. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let it forever stay free. Free in your heart, peace, joy, love, prosperity, abundance. That is who you are. Break the chains that are holding you down and holding anyone that you love down, including anyone around the world. Let us know peace in our lifetimes. And so here to a beautiful Sunday. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. See you back next week. Namaste.